Instead of padding each and every outfit you make for yourself or for your clients, why not make this hip and butt padded tight and say goodbye to the stress of padding each and every outfit you make? Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you are new to this channel, you're very much welcome. So in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew this hip and butt padded tight. This tight is very versatile. You can wear it underneath your ashwebi outfit or any outfit of your choice. So guys, if you're interested in how to make this tight, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into the tutorial. To make this tight, you will need your crepe fabric. You can use any color of your choice, but I'll prefer you use a black or a nude color. Then the next thing is your zipper, then your hairstay. This is the cotton hairstay. You can also use the other type of hairstay, but not paper stay. This is a fiber, this is fiber, and this is my foam. So for this foam, let me tell you the wideness or the inches of this foam. This foam, placing my tape on it, is more than half inch. Is more than half inch thickness, but it's not up to 1 inch. Let's just say it is 3/4. It's thick. The thickness is about 3/4 inch. So these are the materials I will be using to make this ape pad. Then again, you will need your pattern paper to draft the pattern because you need to draft the pattern. So guys, let's start with the pattern drafting, and the measurement you will need is showing on your screen. If you don't know how to take this measurement, I have a detailed tutorial on how to take a trouser measurement. I will just link it up here for you to see. So now I'm measuring my length. So the length I'm working with is 16 inches. It has to be short, so you don't need a long tight. So I'm using 16 inches and I've measured my inseam. So my crotch line is 10 inches. My inseam was 6. So when I deduct 6 from 16 from 6 from 16, I have 10 inches. So that's my crotch line. So I'm just reading the line on those points. So the line before the crotch line is my hip line. So I have my waistline, my hip line, then my crotch line. So those are the 3 lines I measured right here. So let me label, this is my waist, this is my hip, and this is my crotch. So now on the hip line, you measure your hip. So you know that we are padding our hip. So your initial hip measurement, you note that. So my initial hip measurement is 35 inches, but I want to take this to about 39 inches. So about 39, 38 inches. That's the number I want to increase my hip to. So let's just say 39 inches because at the end this was increased to 39. So I will measure 39 inches here on my hip line. So that's 39 inches there. So now I'll just extend this line downward to the crotch line. So for the crotch extension, I measured about 9.5 or more inches here. That's 39 divided by 4. So whatsoever you have there, you divide it by 4 again. So for me, I'll just run that measurement up to 10 inches. So 10 divided by 4 again, I have 2.5. So that's the crotch extension that I have there. So I extended this line upward, then I took half inch away at the hip area. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to just draw my curve at this crotch area. So I'll draw my curve to connect this part up to the hip area. So this is what I achieved. So now we've marked our crotch. So the next thing I will do now is to go down by about 1 inch. So this is to locate my thigh measurement. So for this trouser, you will need 2 thigh measurements, the one close to the crotch and the one where the trouser will be stopping at. So because the crotch will not be the same, it will be different, at least maybe by 1 inch or so, depending on your measurement. So you divide this measurement into 2 by measuring the crotch extension together with the hip. So whatsoever you have, you now take your thigh measurement divided by 2. So my thigh measurement at this area is 22. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. So for 11 inches, I will divide 11 inches on both sides of this line that I ruled out. So I'll take one measurement to this side and the other one to this other side. So just try and divide anyhow you want to divide it, but make sure you are taking half of your thigh measurement at this point. So if you want to do maybe 6 to this side, 5 to the other side, or 5 to this side, 6 to the other side, just take your measurement across like that. So after taking the measurement, this is what I have. So let me connect this side also. So this is what it is looking like right now. So like I said, the next thigh measurement you will take will be at the end of your of your short here. So mine was 20 inches here, so I just took 5 to one side and 5 to the other side, because that's 10 inches. It's 20 inches, but you have to take half of the measurement. So an half of 20 inches is 10 inches, and to take 10 inches on this, I'll take 5 to one side, 5 to the other side, or anyhow you want to take the measurement. Just go ahead and take 10 inches at that point. So now I'm trying to blend this curve here to get a perfect shape. So guys, confirm all your measurements again to be sure you did the right thing. So confirm all the measurements again. So the next thing to do now is our waist measurement. So whatever your waist measurement is, your waist measurement does not change. It's only your hip measurements that will change. So my waist measurement is 26 inches, and 26 divided by 4, I have 6.5. So I'll measure 6.5 here. Then you connect to the hip area. So when I connected this line at first, I noticed the curve was like sharp. So I was thinking of adding a dart to the tight, but adding a dart will just complicate the whole issue. So I decided not to add a dart. Though this was the dart, I was adding extra 1 inch at my waist area to connect, but because of the stress of taking darts on each pieces, so I decided not to add a dart. So I will not be adding any darts to this. So I will use my accurate waist measurement divided by 4. So that's the line I'm drawing now, so you don't get confused about why I have two lines here. So this other line will be for if I wanted to use that, I will use that line, but since I'm not taking any that, so now go ahead and cut, and this is what we have. So the front pattern is ready. So to take the back pattern, you just place the front on it like this. I'm sorry, I'm placing the white side, so you can't really see the difference. I wish I turned it to the other side where I wrote something, at least it will differentiate. I'm so sorry. So what you need to do, let me just explain. So I'm marking where the crotch is at that point, and you have to extend the back crotch by 1.5 inches, at least 1.5 inches. That's at the waist area. So there should be an extension upward of 1.5 inches. So this is where the waist is stopping for the front. So what I did was to also go inward by 1.5 inches again. I increased the length by 1.5 inches at the waist area, then I went inward by 1.5 inches again. Then I will reshape my crotch line. So you still see this better when I cut this out. You will see the difference. So I extended the back by 1.5 inches upward, then I went inward again by 1.5 inches from the initial front measurement. So now I'll go ahead and measure what I have at the waist of my front pattern, then that's what I should have at the back also. But the back will be slanted like this because we've extended it upward, so we have to slant it so that it can balance with the sides. So I measured 6 also, or 6.5. So my waist divided by 4 is 6.5. So I also measured 6.5 on that line, and wherever it is stopping, I note that. Then I blend it towards the hip area. So the hip is the same for the front and back, like the placement of the hip is the same. So this is what I have now. So guys, this is what the pattern looks like. As you can see what I have here, so this is what the front and the back pattern looks like. So now I'm trying to transfer the hip line to the back pattern also, because that's very important. So now after cutting our pattern, you go ahead and cut and measure the hip pad. So for my hip pad, I want it to be 2 inches away from the waist actually. So I still went down by 2 inches instead of that 1 inch I measured. So and at this point here, I just went down by 6 inches from my hip line. So I went down by 2 inches here. Then for this part here, I just went down. So it is 6 inches above the hip line and 6 inches below the hip line. Please, in case your measurement is not like is bigger than mine, you can increase this. Please, is there is not a standard measurement, you can just increase it. And as you can see how I'm taking the curve, how I'm measuring it. So this is how I achieve the hip pad for the front. So for the back also, I'll measure 6 inches above like I did for the front and 6 inches below also. But for this side here, I will make it get close to the crotch area. If you notice for the front, it is not close to the crotch area. But for this back, at least leave about 1 or 1.5 inches at this part here for the crotch. So now see the way I'm shaping this side. As you can see that I did not just draw the curve straight. I did not just draw the curve straight. I made some curve at this point. So also make this curve on yours when you are cutting it. So now before you cut out this part, ensure that you already cut out your trouser, because when you cut out this hip shape, like all this pad shape, you won't be able to use the pattern again. So let me label this as the back and this is the front. And when you are cutting, please just cut in, you cut like 4 pieces of this. As you can see that I cut 4 pieces. This is because you'll be cutting the main trouser and the lining, but we are using the same fabric for the lining and the main trouser. I hope you get. So we are making like two shorts from this. We are making two shorts. So one will be for the lining, which will carry the hip pad, while the other one will be the main short. So now you go ahead and cut out your pattern, then you proceed to cutting it on the pad, on the foam and the fiber. So this is it after cutting it. So this is the front, this is the front also. So when you cut your foam, it is always like, it will be the same thickness, but you have to blend this curve here. So you see this curve, see the way I'm cutting it. So you have to cut some away so that that edge there will be flat and it can blend in into your hip. So if you don't cut it, the shape will be showing when you wear your hip pad. So just try and blend it and make sure it is very flat at this tip. Make sure it is very flat at the tip. So this is my fiber also that I went ahead to cut. And please make sure that one is bigger than the other. Make sure that the fiber is a bit longer than the other. I went to cut the same size, but make sure that your fiber is at least half inches wider than the foam so that you can have a seamless blending. So I later trim out some part of the foam so that I can have a little bit of space for my fiber. So now after placing the two on each other, then you place it like this. Then this is my stay that I went ahead to cut out. So we have to use our stay to gum this together, to stick them together. So you use the stay to cover it at the back, and you also use the stay to cover it at the front. So this will take a lot of your time and you need a lot of patience to achieve this also. So you place this on each other and make sure that you still have at least, let's say, 1 inch stay on both sides. Make sure you still have about 1 inch stay on both sides. So you go ahead and stick them together very well, properly. Make sure you stick them together. Make sure all the edges, like all the edges of this pad, has stay. So you'll be cutting the stay will be, so this part will be in between the stay. Make sure that all the edges has stay and they are stick together. So after you are done, you cut it out and you leave about half-inch stay on the edge of this pad, because that's what you'll be using to join it to your lining, to the trouser. So that's what you'll be using to join it together and also to join it to the trouser. Make sure you have at least half-inch or the on the edge. So when you stick it together, you see that the foam and the fiber will just marry themselves together also. So now this is the fiber and this is the foam. Like I said earlier, that I'll be cutting inches some inches away, like half-inch away, just to make this gap between the fiber and the foam. So this is what I was saying. So when you want to cut yours, make sure one is bigger, one is wider than the other, especially the fiber. Make sure the fiber is more than the foam. So now after sticking everything together, this is what I have. So let me go ahead and trim this also. So let me go ahead and trim. So after fixing all the pad, you will notice that everything is now looking alike. So you just place your pattern and place your pattern on it just to identify each of them. So after you've gotten the right one for each other, you go ahead and join one side together. You know, we have to join the two together to form one. So like this one now, I'll go ahead and just join it together with half-inch. You know, we left half-inch at this edge, so you use the half-inch to join it together. So after joining it together, this is what I have right now. So this is what I have. So now let's start with the joining of the trouser. So we'll start with the one for the one that will carry the hip pad. So for that one that will carry the hip pad, so you will join the trouser by the side, not the crotch. So you join the front to the front side to the back side. So you join them together by the side for the right leg and for the left leg. So just join them together by this side. So after joining, this is what you will have. As you can see, the crotch is not joined yet. Then the next thing you will do now is to place your hip pad. So guys, I placed this hip pad with the fiber side facing upward. The fiber side is facing upward while the foam side is facing the fabric, and this is the wrong side of the fabric. As you can see the joining inside. Please make sure you align it. You know, this pad is starting about 2 inches from below the waistline, and take note of the sewing allowance we also had of half-inch. Please take note of that. Make sure you pin this properly. You pin this gently. Take your time to pin this. First start with the center. Make sure you align the center together. So after pinning the center, also move over to the side, then you pin it all around. Pin it all around. So what I did was that when I was done pinning, I still turned this to the right side to see if there is any folding. So if you notice any folding, you can remove the pin and just stretch it out so that it can be perfectly fitted. So flip it to the right side. If you notice any folding, please stretch it out, then you repin. So when you are sure with what you've pinned, then you go ahead and sew. You start with the side, you sew the side, then also around the pad. So after sewing, this is what I have. This is what my is looking like. I also did the same thing too for the other side, and this is what it is looking like. So now the next thing to do is to join them by the crotch, but you leave your zipper allowance for the back crotch. You know, there'll be a zipper there, but the zipper will be on the main trouser. The one with the pad is the lining. So this is the main trouser. As you can see, I've went ahead to fix the zipper and I'll fix the side. I'll also go ahead and sew the crotch. I've sewn the crotch area. I'll just join the this side here. I'll join it. So after joining, this is the lining. This is the main bodies. We like call it the main trouser. So now it's time to join them together. I want to join this in such a way that the joining is not showing outside at all. It is not showing outside. So what I will do is that I will start with the legs. So I'll pin this. So I'll pin it together. So just watch what I'm doing. So turn both fabric, like both trouser, to the wrong side. Turn them to the wrong side, then you match them together. So let me explain again. So you turn the trouser to the wrong side. So these are the two trousers and this is the wrong side. Then you place it together here. So you sew it like right side facing each other. You sew it round the first leg, then you sew it round the second leg too. So guys, after sewing, this is what I have. Then it's now time to turn this. So you just push one into the other. You push the lining into the main fabric just like this. So it is very easy. So now you've turned your trouser like that. So now this is what we have. So the next thing we'll do is to cover this zipper area. You know, we've already fixed the zipper on the right side, that is the main body. So I'll use this lining to cover up this side. So I'll use the lining to cover it up. So let me open this zipper first. Then I will use this lining, that is the one inside, to cover it up. So guys, I'll just go ahead and sew like this is quite complicated, so just go ahead and just sew in such a way that the zipper is in between these two fabric, that is the main fabric and the lining. So that was what I would do so that this can be very neat. So I will just open it up like this, then I will sew. So I'll just sew again with half inch, then I'll do the same for the other side too. So after sewing, this is what it will look like the zipper will now be in between the two. So it will be in between the lining and the fabric. So I need to iron my zipper because the fabric is entering into the zipper. I need to give that a good press so that it does not stress me out. So when you look at the inside, this is what the inside looks like. As you can see that the zipper is in between. So now we are almost done with this tights, and the only thing left is to like to turn the waistline of this trouser. So I'll be cutting some fabric out just to turn this. So I'll be cutting it out now. So now I just cut a tiny piece of the fabric, then I'll be using it to turn the waistline just to close that part up. So now I'll join this together because the length is not enough, then I'll use it to turn this. Please make sure you turn it carefully so that it can be very neat. You can turn it to the right or you can turn it to the left, anyhow you want to do it. So after turning, this is what my trouser looks like. As you can see, the inside and the outside is the same, like everything is the same. The only difference is that the pad is attached to the lining. As you can see, everything neat, nice, and very beautiful. So guys, if you find this video helpful, please like this video, drop a comment for me in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and community that will need this tutorial. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.